A little bit.
And welcome everyone to another exciting adventure on Riding Through the Unknown. And I'm your host, Michael, and a little bit of an update for tonight's show because it is the night of the blessed three-eye atlas, as they say. Be coming by is a few of our guests will not be able to make it on because they're not feeling well or had emergencies, so I just want to say thank you to everyone who has made it on, and we may have some people popping in and out throughout the episode, so don't worry. Everyone's going to have a fair chance to talk, and I'm so appreciative to everyone who's going to make it and those who unfortunately couldn't make it. But we have an awesome show for you tonight, and I want to give a special shout out to Penny Bradley, who I just want to say we were at a conference and I was talking about this, that I've done these panels, and she looked at me with this most sincere look and goes, "How come I was never invited?" And I said, "I didn't realize you were doing shows anymore." And so she was like, "You do one, I'll be there." And here she is.
Aw.
And
Yay.
I'm grateful for Susan and Christy being here as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hi, Susan.
How about we start out with everybody just, catching us up and what's going on with them?
I guess it's been 3 years now that I've had health problems, and I guess it's safe to say hostilities from parts of the disclosure movement. And between it, I became a lot more introverted, and I stopped doing things. I stopped reaching out to people to be on their show. If they reached out to me, I basically accepted everything that was handed my direction, but I stopped being aggressive about it. I learned to do clip compilations. I started a Substack that's more about that tutor I talk about. He gave me a data dump that was legal papers that had been online, and the website had been taken down, and he asked me to share them on my Substack, and I've been doing that. I'm not I'm not sure I actually like any of them, but they have been informative. And so the combination of things, I've just gotten to where I just pulled back a lot. And I'm 70 years old and I haven't been in great health. And so it's been, I took more of a back seat, is all. I haven't disappeared. I'm still available if you want me.
Oh,
Well, we appreciate you. And
I'd like to do
Christy,
a show with you, Penny. I haven't done a
yes.
show with you before.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can meet each other and everything too. I'd love that. I thought about that last time we did the show too. So yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, I've been introverted a little bit more too. I think we kind of have to preserve our energy and everything, you know. So I do my books and do my readings and everything, and then you know that's kind of what I've been doing a lot, making my books, putting my information. Oh, cool! Thank you for getting that. Yeah, thank you so much. I've been putting new covers on some of them too, just to keep them moving and everything. So I enjoy doing that, you know, the artwork and everything. And so, yeah, I've been doing that a lot, just my books and trying to do readings so I don't have to get out in the real world and find work because that would be really hard for me to do too, you know? So
Mhm.
pretty overwhelming to think of being around a whole crowd of people all the time, and that's gives me a lot of anxiety, you know. So I do prefer being at home and going out when I choose to. So which is just to the park to walk. Not much at all, not any place, you know. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And we all met at the conference, so that was cool too. At
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
Full Disclosure Now conference, so that was nice. It's nice to meet everyone and then go back another year and have more to talk about too, you know, since you already met each other. So, yep.
And Christy, I have a message for you.
Hmm.
Somebody was doing a channeling and they called you out and said the light language is needed right now. And if you need someone to do it, Chrisy Campbell is putting out a lot of the light language that's needed right now.
Oh, cool. That's
So,
nice. Yeah, it's I think a lot of Lyran and Pleiadian, you know, those codes coming through. Just it's like your soul language. So I know all of us can do it. So it's just I like to do artwork a lot. So I think it just flows through me.
yeah, so I just thought
Cool.
you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Susan?
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, Penny, if you want me on your show, I'll do it. I'm ready to do them again.
Okay.
As long as people don't tag me in videos of my nemesis, which somebody did and pissed me off this week. But yeah. But this is nice getting together. I thought more of the ladies were going to be here tonight because I consider Penny the matriarch. I'm a
Mhm.
gen or two after Penny, but I haven't done any regressions to get more memories, and I would like to do one, see what happens. Because mine are all from downloads, just seeing people and dreams, you know.
Hmm. And my regressions were not about SSP. They were, well, they were related topics. The last two, I'm going to name drop Miss Olivia James. She talks about her father sold her into the program to keep himself out of prison. And that just sort of haunted me because I knew my father had had some legal problems. And that's what the last two regressions that I had that Drago Reed did. That was what they were about, was daddy. And it turns out that he had agreed for me to go because he was having legal problems, and he did not understand the extent of what would be done to me. And after I came back, I was different, too different, and he actually tried to abandon me to foster care when I was 12, and mama said no. So yeah, be careful what you ask in regression hypnosis, because you might find something that just pulls the rug out from under you, which is what this did for me.
Yeah.
You had to
I did
process
a-
everything. You had to process it and all that. Going through all the.
You have to process it. You have to find a way to forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my father's dead. I can't talk to him. And his spirit came through the regression, and it got so harsh that I was falling back into the abyss. And my higher self's father, because my higher self is a child, my higher self's father stepped in and grabbed me and pulled me back here.
Oh wow!
So it was really dramatic.
During the regression, you were falling into the abyss.
Yeah, during the regression, I was falling into the abyss, and my higher self's father just grabbed me. And Drago was shocked by that.
Yeah.
Really? He said he'd never had that happen before.
No. He was like falling into the black darkness or so, or do you think he was changing altars, or what was that? What did that signify?
It was my soul was giving up.
Oh no.
Me that's here was just giving up.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabbed me, pulled me back, and he says, "You have a father's love. You have mine."
Oh, that's good.
And a year later, we had part 2.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was a lot. I'm not sure the first year we actually got a recording, because I was so anxious that
was it messing up?
I turned off his cell phone and I turned off the video on his laptop, and it was just my energy field doing it.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think he got the audio part, but yeah, it's been a wild couple of years processing all this. Yeah.
In part 2, then, what did you find in your second session with him?
That he did agree to sell me. I wasn't born yet, and he had agreed to. Mom was pregnant. He didn't know me as a person. He didn't know there were twins. He didn't know that the process would kill my twin. He was told, well, we'll just take her and she'll be gone 15 minutes and you won't have to go to jail.
Oh.
That's all he actually understood. But I came back different.
Yeah.
Different. And he had a really hard time with it. I was everything he thought a girl should not be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Familiar.
That should sound familiar. I mean, all of us, we're everything that our daddy thought we shouldn't be.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. And this was in the 60s. Well, I was taken in 59. So it was in the 60s when he was having issues with me. And my parents had both been raised like they were a generation older than they were. So this was a very huge paradigm shift to have a girl that was smart, that did science, that wanted to do boy things, that fought. I bullied my siblings. Yeah, I admit to not being perfect.
Yeah.
I'm autistic and I never fit in anywhere. And by the time I was 10 years old, I was talking about building an H-bomb and blowing up the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I terrified my classmates' parents who thought
Yeah.
I was smart enough to do it.
Because you were, because you would have, if you had all the material, I'm sure.
At that point, yeah, but I mellowed after puberty. I discovered boys.
Oh, okay. That distracted you.
Yeah. Maybe it was programming too, because I also had programming to be a church mouse, and it's pretty hard to be a church mouse and want to blow up the world at the same time. You have to make choices.
Yep.
My church mouse programming fell away in 2013 when my memories were activated. So that was a difficult thing for Lou and I, because I had been this religious fanatic before then.
Oh.
And suddenly I remembered the faith. I remembered everything I studied, including at seminary. I just didn't believe it anymore.
Yeah. You woke up.
Yeah, I woke up, and it's been a wild ride.
Mm-hmm. I never did hear what your awakening was. What was that woke you up? Your moment, or however.
An NSA agent who had been my trauma twin at Langley used my remember code.
Oh, okay.
He thought he was activating the altar that was on Mars, and instead he activated her memories.
Oh.
And they were in German, a dialect I don't speak. So I had to do a lot of research to find out what it was I was remembering. That's how I can tell you who says what, is because I had to go through all that to know what I was remembering.
Mm-hmm.
So you get this pile of memories, and the most traumatic is on the top. You have to go through that first before you get to the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got about 2/3 of the way to the bottom, other altars started opening up. I've now reintegrated 45 altars.
Oh.
And each one brings memories of its own, makes a fuller picture.
Yeah.
It's not all the same picture, though, because different altars were used in different places.
Yeah. Not all German, and not all just one place. It's all over.
I have 5 altars who work for the CIA on Earth, and possibly more, because remember Doris Neely, Susan?
Yes.
She said that my altar worked in the CIA office with her, that I was a deputy director, and that she and I were friends. And she's like, my friend who died, who I went to her funeral, who I cried for, who has a star on the CIA wall, is sitting here talking to me, and you look just like her. That was completely blowing her mind.
Is that a clone? A clone of you?
Yeah, it was a clone body, and she was involved in the Iran-Contra affair.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Wonder how many clones do you have? Quite a few then.
I have no idea. And the comment reintegration of any is so hard. Yes.
Yes.
And they don't completely mesh. You end up with spaces in between, and some of them are very judgmental. I have one that occasionally plops into my mind and says, you're a wuss. You need to go do such and such and such and such, and you should have done it yesterday.
Keeps you in check, huh?
Yeah.
You're like, my goodness, I try.
Yeah.
I try as hard as I can.
I try to walk this line between what Earth people think is acceptable female behavior and telling the straight truth. And if there's a conflict between the two, I tend to drift toward this telling the straight truth, which gets me in lots of trouble. But, you know, it's been 9 years I've been public and nobody's managed to kill me and keep me dead during it. So I guess that's success. Knock on wood.
It's good.
Well, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Everybody looked good at the conference too, you know? So
Yeah.
that's really good. Yeah.
Oh, I was shot at the conference.
You were?
Yeah, I was wearing aluminum foil under my hair because I kept being shot in the back of the neck every time I came in that room.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
It was somebody in the back of the room at one of the tables was shooting me with a hand-sized dew, and it was heating up the metal from my spinal fusion.
Oh, wow.
Scar.
Okay.
So, and that was why I couldn't be in the room very much. I wanted to hear everybody else, but if I'm going to get shot at, and so the ladies that ran the front desk, they brought in aluminum foil from home so that I could give my presentation without being shot.
Oh.
And it was after that Amoreena gave me
that hat.
The hat.
I saw you wearing that hat.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't wear it on camera. I do wear it the rest of the time.
Yeah. It was black one. It wasn't the black one.
No,
it was,
she wore the black one. The one she gave me matches my hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw you wearing that, so I knew that something was going on with that, and she was wearing one too. So
yeah, we were getting shot with the handheld dews. It's enough to make you uncomfortable. It's not enough to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So
give you a bad migraine too, because a couple of times I had to go lay down in the middle of the day because my head was just killing me.
Yeah. If it hit you, you couldn't think. It was that took your whole attention. And I had a presentation that I was terrified about because I knew how it ended and people didn't expect that, and it was very dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My family connections, I got to Tavistock. I traced the mind control creation of altars. I traced it to Tavistock, and I had to ask my family connections, okay, where did Tavistock get it? Because I can't find the records. And they told me, and once I knew where to look, then I could find the trail. But it was one of those, you had to know where you were looking to be able to find it. And yeah, Mothers of Darkness is a horrible place for it to be coming from. So, you know, but that was where the trail led.
Oh.
So
I remember that place.
I wonder if we all went through that.
I have an altar with a Thelema seal on it. And since I gave that presentation, that altar has been doing what we call a blood flood. And it wants to be reintegrated. I'm smiling about the comment, statue. Yeah, Michael had already said that before the show. But yeah, I have days on end that everything in my visual is covered with red blood because that altar wants to be reintegrated.
Oh.
And I don't know how to remove the seal, so I can't reintegrate it. And frankly, if it has that kind of power to blood flood me, I'm not sure I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I have no idea what that altar has been involved with, but it doesn't look pretty from outside.
No, not at all. Scary.
Which I guess is a good place to bring up something happening in the community that I think we need to consider.
Yes, please do.
We have a couple of 3 or 4 folks in the community who are getting really upset about something that was done by someone's altar out in space. And they're making all the noises about getting this guy arrested or killing him because his altar did something. Now, as far as I know, every single one of us has an altar that has been criminalized just to make sure that they have some way of controlling us. And I think we really need to look at, is this something we want to do as a community? Do we want to criminalize people for what their altars have done without their consent or knowledge? Do we really want to do that?
No.
Because that's what these people. That's what these
3D,
people
yes. If they're doing the same crap in 3D, yes, put them behind bars.
Yes.
I'm on that.
If they're doing it in 3D, if they're doing it in 3D, yes. But if it's just their altar, I don't think so. Or at least not by the community. I mean, if the law decides they're going to prosecute based on what your altar did, well, yeah, it's your body. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah, but then it's another altar too. You can't even really, realistically, you can even prove that was even you. You could say, that ain't me. This is me, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, not only that,
has anywhere to go. That's just causing trouble, you know?
That's how I see it. But I wanted the community to know this is coming down and decide together what we're going to do about it, because you're going to have individuals that suffered under it, but I don't think it's good for the community. Unless like Susan said, they're doing it in 3D in their real self, then they should have the book.
Yeah, because most cases we don't even know what our altars are doing until after the fact, and so what could we have done to stop it?
Most people don't even know their altars. They're hidden, you know?
Yeah.
And anybody could say, oh, you did this to me, and you have no idea you even did that. So how could I be responsible for something I have no idea I even did, you know?
It kind of reminds me of that movie Minority Report, where they were coming after you for committing a crime that you were going to commit, but you haven't actually committed. So it's like, wait a minute, how are you? And so, yeah. And I actually recently met up with some of my altars and undergoing a session regression. And it was quite a trip, actually.
What'd you find?
So I talked with 5 altars. One was, and you'll appreciate this one, Christy, the werewolf altar of mine. And I asked him where he came from, and he said the programs created me, and so I'm here to take care of things for you that you are not capable of. And I was like, okay. And I asked him, I said, are the legends and lore of werewolves, are those us operating in the past? And he says, yes, we created that story. The legends of the werewolves are us from the SSP. I was like, I kind of had that feeling.
But I think the werewolves, like werewolves in Irish history, and actually Cromwell killed a lot of them. They were protectors of children, and that's why Cromwell killed them when he colonized Ireland, because they were the protectors. But somehow probably from the English, have said that they're bad and they're not.
Yeah, and that's what my werewolf altar does. Is if I hear of children or hybrid children somewhere, he goes and rescues them
Yeah.
and does his best to rescue him. And if others are doing it and they get overwhelmed, he senses it and goes. And I met another altar of mine who said that the reason I don't have my full memory is because I know too much. And so they release what information when it's needed. That's why when people ask me questions, I can answer as if I remember, is they're allowing the information to flow, and then I forget whatever I said.
Oh.
I used to have, when I was on Global Enlightenment Radio Network, I was shifting altars like a Rolodex.
Mm.
I had to go back and watch my show afterwards just to know what I told people. It was really, people were holding me responsible for what my altar said, so I had to go find out what it was. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would blank out in the same spot, so I'm not sure I still know all of it.
And
people
I
ask
feel
me
like
things on Facebook or on X, and I just blurt out, I don't know everything. Come on. I'm mostly human. I have mostly human limitations.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that we don't remember totally, because our minds are powerful, but I was talking with a friend and she pointed out to me, we are human, like you're saying, Penny. And so, like, I'm not judging you on this comment. I'm just going to use it as an example. You were talking about how you were this morning and today. If we had access to all of our abilities 24/7 and all our knowledge, how much harm could we do by accident because our emotions got out of control? Because we are human.
Well, what he's talking about is I had a very bad day and I got cranky. Cranky's a mild word. I described it in the messenger where we were talking to each other. So they knew that they knew how cranky I was today. It's not easy being trained to kill people in a military program, and then coming back here and being expected to be submissive. I think submissive is the right word. Women my age were expected to be submissive, and I'm not. And I know there was a time frame when I had embraced servanthood because of the church mouse programming, but I never, even then, was particularly submissive. I described it as I was an excellent second in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't do so good as the boss, but the second in charge, I usually did pretty well. And it's funny. You remember Joseph Powell and the Armada we were on when he decided to defect to ICC. They put me in charge of the ship. And that altar's actually doing a decent job per Matt Tracy, which I'm pleased to hear that. He said it feels much nicer now that it's not being run as a pirate ship anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. We need a pirate day.
Pendar was a difficult commanding officer on a good day.
Mm-hmm.
On a bad day, or if he was mad at you, he was hell on earth.
Yeah.
And anyone who served under Pendar would understand. He's the only commanding officer I ever got mad enough at to blow up his head. And he remembered it. And Joseph remembered it. And we have an interview somewhere floating around on the internet where he describes me blowing up his head.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Pendar came out, and my alter that worked with him came out, and they did an interview together. And I had to watch it afterwards to know what they said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember watching them too. I remember how you got mad, what was going on. I'm sure he was doing something, or what was he doing or saying that?
I have a file with Nachtwaffen that is every alter that has ever worked with them. So every commanding officer is given a copy of that file. So he knew my capabilities. He knew what my practices had been in Nachtwaffen and some of the other SSP branches. The females are expected to provide sexual service to the males. This is the normal and to be expected behavior. So you do your job just like a man all day long, and then all night long you're being raped.
Mm.
And my personal practice was to ingratiate myself to a higher officer and become his mistress, and then he was the only one that could rape me. It limited my availability. And in exchange for his protection, I would use my psi abilities to enhance his leadership. That was what Pendar wanted. And I told him no, because he was a jackass. Pardon my cussing on your show.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But that was why he was constantly harassing me, that was what he wanted, and I kept saying no. He would not take no for an answer. And in retribution, he assigned me to service the 4 worst sadists on the ship. These were men who put women in the hospital, or regeneration. They were that bad. And I was assigned to them. And that was when I blew up his head.
Yeah.
Because he was assigning me to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm not a masochist. So I blew up his head. And then I picked up the pieces and put him in regen, because I wasn't trying to murder him. I was trying to stop his nonsense.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, he would tie a rope around me and put me out the airlock, wait till I exploded from the low pressure or died from the plasma field out there, and then haul me back in, dump me in regen, rinse and repeat. He did that for 8 months.
Oh my God.
But he had to keep me alive because I was the one that flew the ship.
Mm.
So, well, Matt Tracy and I, we shift work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was what was going on. It was pure, unadulterated sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
With a vindictive mean streak. And he admitted it on air, live.
Yeah.
He admitted that's exactly what was going on. So I'm not making anything up.
Mm-mm. Nope.
So this is what goes on in these programs.
Yeah.
I've not heard of a single woman whistleblower that wasn't raped in the programs, except possibly Ileana, the Star Traveler. She says it doesn't happen in ICC. I think she was just protected.
Oh, they try it in ICC because I got called on the carpet by Joseph Powell, and he was saying, "Long with your sex drive, you ought to be able to take care of 5 or 6 more of these guys." And I was like, first I laughed because I thought it was a joke because I'm like 18 maybe, and then I said, "Fuck you, I'm not a prostitute," because they had done that shit to me when I was a child, and after they took my first baby at 13 or 14 as a ritual sacrifice, I went into space and they didn't do any of that stuff. But when I denied Powell, I woke up raped on a ship. It was and I was on a ship with David Purcell, and he's the one that raped me, and I killed him and went back and killed Powell too, because every chance I got, anybody that tried to do something like that, I would kill them, and I would cut body parts off and shove them down their throat.
Well, we went a lot darker than you thought we were going to, Michael.
That's okay.
Actually, we haven't hit as dark as I thought we were going to go yet. I'm used to these panels, and I'm like, I know there's a certain level and a certain topic that's going to come up. So I'm like, I've kind of geared and prepared myself for it. And Priscilla, you can unmute yourself and just chime in.
Hello,
Hi.
Priscilla.
Hey, Priscilla.
Hi, girl. I was like, oh, there's going to be a bunch of girls. And then I was like, oh, maybe there's just a few of us. I was like, oh, man, I'm going to hurry up. I'm so sorry.
Well,
Hi.
Priscilla, you know,
How
when
are
the
you?
program's called Women of
Yeah.
the Space Program,
Yeah.
there's not going to be a lot of guys on the screen.
Oh, no, I know. But I thought, well, yeah, all you guys, I was, including you, but all you girls. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I thought I was, but I on the chat, there was just a few of us like interacting. So I thought maybe, it would be just of us. How are you?
Hey,
girls?
everybody who's watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi everybody watching. It's been a while. I didn't see all of you. I'm so happy. How you been?
We was talking about all the programs and stuff, and so now it's your turn. You're on the spot.
Oh well.
Introduce
lately,
yourself because we started doing that.
excuse me. What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
We started the show by introducing ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm Priscilla. I'm from Canada, and well, I'm a lot of things, but I'm a mom, and I'm part of the group of the SSP girls. We have a lot of things in common, and we go through a lot of things. But I think that right now the world is going through a lot of things, so it's kind of for a reason that we kind of went through before everybody. So yeah, I'm always happy to help, and I'm creating in the third dimension and in all dimensions that I can. I'm really quiet with the groups and everything because everybody's been like, a lot's been going on. So me, I'm kind of quiet, but I talk a little bit to people, and I'm really always on task on my side. Yeah, I mean, like all of us, so much is going on. We could, complain all day, of course, like everybody, but us, it's like really profound. But on the same level, I'm always seeing things on both sides. I always think that, if we go through crazy things, I think that we can go through crazy, amazing things too, because it's polarized here. So we just need to focus and be as good as we can. We can't really do more. So yeah, it's been crazy on my side too, with people and, people acting weird and body snatchers almost. You're like, who are you? What's your problem? So we kind of learn to, I guess, master that shit. It's not really much more we can do, right? It's like everybody's going through it differently. But I think that in the end, if you're really kind of trying to at least see what you're doing, and we're polarized also, there's nobody here that's, I think, always like happy and stuff. Like so much is going on. So yeah, I think that, the more we learn, the more we embody, the polarized aspects of everything. So yeah.
I'm glad you could come in. It's been a while since we chatted.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen everybody, really. Yeah, my screen is there. If I look there, sorry, I know I put my camera there, but I had to change my setting and everything again. And last second, so whatever. Peace, y'all.
You're fine. I like the tree in the background.
Oh,
my
thanks. It's my
camera's
basement
sitting
here.
on my monitor.
Excuse me?
My camera is sitting on my monitor, so you get directly at me.
Yeah, well, all of you are well set. It's just that I didn't really have time, so it's just like.
I like your tree too.
Yeah, I have two. I have one upstairs, and that's the other one. And I'm like, oh, I'll just put it up. Why not? So I like it. I wasn't too down with it, but with the kids and everything, it's kind of, it's hard for them to navigate all of it. Like my kids, they're really aware, and they kind of helped me waking up in the beginning, so they're very aware. But also, they go to school and they have like all of it. So for them, it's like for grandkids or other people, whoever is aware of what's going on. It's kind of hard to put both together right now, and people who are just starting to realize stuff, because for us it's been going on for a while. But I mean, between us, I didn't think like maybe 5 years ago that they would be like talking about this openly and everything. So I mean, it's not super cool and stuff. It's like kind of basics, but still it's kind of open now. So I mean, there's kind of progress.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I came out with some of the darkest, nastiest stuff that was possible to come out with right in 2016.
Oh, you guys some of you have been at it for a while, and James also had been for a while. Me, I'm just starting, I just awakened like 5 years ago, but like people have been at this for a long time, and like waiting on like some type of awakening in the people or change or stuff. And it's
I've kind of given up on awakening the public.
Well, they are though, kind of
slowly.
It's in Congress and everything.
Congress surprised me. Congress really surprised me. And I the main ones, Burchett and Luna, I follow them on X. I tag them in things. They're probably tired of me.
If you're interacting with them, it's already good, because you already have like an exchange of energy with these people. So consciously, subconsciously, your realities are kind of mixing, you know what I mean? So all of this is really kind of super annoying to us, but it's kind of really cool when you take a perspective of like the normal people. Because I remember when I started, like people calling me a Captain Cosmos and making fun of me and stuff, and I was like, yeah, whatever, and now it's like I don't even need to say anything. I'm like, I don't say nothing because I don't really care about that, and I'm still like loving them. I understand where they come from, but that's it. It is what it is.
I like that title for you, Priscilla, though.
What?
I like that title for you, Captain Cosmos.
Sounds like a drink.
It's better than what they used to call me.
Make a good podcast.
I mean, they weren't expecting this for sure.
No, when I was first public, I had people calling me a demon on every channel, every podcast I was on. And I had one man that he had me scheduled, and he was busy processing some video, and he told me that it was more important than I was. And then I got asked to be on somebody's show, and Daryl was the producer. And so he did his usual. He offers everybody a show. But at that particular moment, I really needed one. And
also, it keeps you safe on a certain point, like you're kind of like out there. So
I went public because I was being shot at.
Exactly.
They got me 3 times in 6 weeks in the summer of 2016, and they shot Lou twice.
Where are you in the U.S.? Like south Like, don't need to say exactly, but you're like in a state where there's a lot of guns, right? Like, is it allowed?
I'm in the hillbilly part of California.
Yes, everybody. I'd be in prison if I'd be there, man.
We are the hillbillies of California, and we still have people driving around with loaded rifles in the back window.
Oh, man.
I'm in Oklahoma, so I know that.
Yeah, you know.
You got guns here in Canada.
My brother came to visit once, and my older brother, and he had been to my mom's when she was in Tennessee, and he comes and he stays in the area for about 6 weeks, and when he's leaving, he says, "You know, it's just like Tennessee here."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I can see that."
Because I was thinking in my mind, like, if you guys got shot and everything, and like you're in a place where everybody has guns, you can't just go, "Oh, I got." So you're gonna be like,
"Oh no, we weren't shot with projectitiles. We were shot
with energy.
We were shot with energy weapons."
Oh, I thought you guys really like they literally came to your house and everything. Because some of us really, like, not me personally, but some do. You know, like even
that does happen to some. The first time we got shot, we had gone to visit Lou's daughter in Nevada, and she took us to Virginia City. And we were in this place. It was a clamper watering hole, and those who know.
Yeah.
And it's called Buckets of Blood.
Wow.
And we were sitting there in this place, and my back was to the bar. I had ordered 2 bottles of water. You know, bottles of water. They were $5 a piece. Just water.
Yeah.
It was hot. And while Lou went to the bathroom, we got the water. While he's coming back to the table, we got hit with something that got me in the back and him in the chest.
When you're far from home, sometimes, you know,
I thought we were going to die.
Oh, yeah.
We left, grabbed the water, went outside, sat outside, and his daughter comes up to us, "Well, why aren't you in there? We expected to see you." And we were like, "Well, we thought we'd be better off out here."
Yeah.
But
it gets so mixed up in your mind when stuff like this happens, right? So you get to suspect like everything. You're like, you don't really know, and you don't really, like, you presume stuff, and you can, you know, talk with your husband or your boyfriend and stuff, but that's so tricky, right? And
it was really harsh. Both of us got hit, and in fact, he thought he was the target, and it was when we got hit 2 more times that I realized I was the target. And after the 3rd one, I asked him, I said, "You know, Bill Cooper said if you know they're going to kill you, to hide in the spotlight." Because then
it's harder.
It verifies your testimony when they kill you. And I said, "Are you up for this?" And he said, "Yes." And so I hunted down people who would put me on air. The first one was Jay Campbell of Decoders of Truth. And he had me on with another couple of people, and they weren't on the same page, and the questions were just all over the place, and I looked like an idiot.
Well, SSP is a different, you know.
And then James Rink had me on, and I think I did 6 altogether with James over the time I've been public. And about 2 years ago, he got mad about Brian asking me to be the keynote speaker, and he went as far as telling people I died and was replaced by a clone.
That's what I mean, you know, like,
what
so there's so much possibilities, you know, that we can see. So it's like,
you know, I'm sorry he died. I would have been happier if he had just done a public apology. because he had people reach out to me, and that's all I asked for was
Yeah, but a lot of people are messed up, you know, and this.
Yeah, I just asked for an apology, and you know, as public as his disrespect was, that's all I asked for. And
I know it doesn't cost anything for apologies. I know, but now he's dead, so he can't apologize now.
But you know, I'm really sorry he's gone. I am. He did a lot of good for the community. I just wish that he had felt the need to reconcile with me by apologizing first.
Yeah, but if I can say something that might ease your mind a little bit, a lot of people, okay, are not themselves after a while, doing a lot of things all the time. So they don't necessarily, it doesn't mean that James wouldn't have apologized to you. Okay.
Yeah. But that was just so harsh, and it was
because he wasn't
for him
himself.
To suddenly be dead on top of all of that was like,
I think he's fine now.
Yeah, he's fine now.
Yeah.
I found out today that Derek Tyler died this morning, and if you don't know,
another guy that's been there for a while, I think, right?
Yeah, he was part of ufology, and he had a YouTube. He was on Coast to Coast AM several times. He spoke at Contact in the Desert, and he passed this morning. So they found him dead in his apartment.
I'll have to look who that is. I don't know who that is.
He had been ill for a couple of years. So I'm not thinking this is conspiracy. I think he just finally succumbed. So unless something comes out otherwise, he just finally.
Yeah, well, you know, like this thing we're in right now, it's really crazy, and some of us, like some people, it really worn them out in a lot of different ways. And you know, I don't think that we ever really die. Like, I think that we're kind of like pretty unkillable in the aspect.
I was hit 3 times with scale.
I mean, our essence, August. You know, like humans and stuff, we're kind of powerful. So I think that this is just like, it's not just, but I don't see death like as
no. I've been dead and come back. We don't stop. You're still
for them, you know.
After you die, you just don't have your body. Actually, it looks like you're in a body. It's just not the one you're here in.
And these people, they know how these things go. So when they get out of their body, they're out of here, you know. So good for them, you know.
I keep getting sent back.
Yeah, you won't this time. You know, this guy comes to you, grab this guy, you just smack him out of your way. Get
that. I would have been happy to be gone, but you know, they keep telling me.
And I don't listen to these people. You say no.
Variations of your job isn't done yet. You're going back.
Try me.
Variations of that, and every time, and it's been so many. I've lost count, and
you know, we didn't know back then. We didn't have like internet and everything. We were kept like now we have like more information this lifetime.
Well, I was killed the first time in 1984. They didn't have the internet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's
has to do with Mars, eh? Like 84.
You
probably know that.
It had to do with my personal Saturn return.
Yeah, but I
will warn you, if you are not on mission when you have your Saturn return, it can be deadly.
Saturn,
Chronos. I'm curious, though, you know, talking about this, what do you all think about the thought of we're not the mains, that we're alters, and our mains are somewhere else?
I did muscle testing, you know, the pendulum thing. I am the original, and I am in my birth body. Yeah. I am not a clone.
I think I am too. That's why it hurts so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I think that it's not so much clones. That's my perspective. It's not some people may be the rich people and everything, but us, we will get like body snatchers more, like some other consciousness in our body, and then it changes our body. But then again, there's so much possibilities. But I mean, I'll also think that the more that we're trying to be aware of stuff and master like here and other places and everything that we can kind of, well, you know, which one's real and everything. It's all kind of like
They're all real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're all real.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
How would we know which one like that were the original? How do you
That's
know?
really real. And once you can,
Well,
you know, we all can kind of
That's
move.
what I did muscle testing was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your
That's
subconscious.
original.
Your subconscious knows which one's which.
Yeah, that's muscle testing. It's your subconscious that answers really. Because also when, like for me, I'm ever interfacing with any outside whatever, I always get on into my pillar and my stuff. So it's us, you know, it's always us and everything that we interface with, kind of, except when it's other things that's going on, but intentionally, you know. So.
And Jay Skyrunner has a question for you ladies. He asks, how many of you gals been on the Jupiter Moon training program?
I don't have memory of that.
I don't have memory, but I've been told. John Whitberg told me, but I forget every detail. I don't think he remembered what I did. He remembered what he did, but maybe. Is that Europa? Is that Europa? Right?
They're asking if it's Europa or Ganymede.
I think it was Europa, but he said it was like a secretary where he was a officer or some sort. So I don't remember all the detail. It was like a secretary, but I don't know all the detail. I remember we talked about it, but it's been a couple of years since we talked about that. So, because I didn't remember that, though he told me.
Yeah, I have Sophie keeps asking me about Jupiter, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like Jupiter doesn't ring a bell. Saturn does, but not Jupiter.
Jupiter feels very militarized and very organized and very like structured and all that. But I don't have any memories there. I was just like kind of tapping in. It's very like occupied.
I think I remember. Now I have a memory of the Ganymede. Is that what the other moon would be like a meeting?
Right.
But it's like a I think it might be a praying mantis aspect of myself. Something with that too. I know I have a praying mantis aspect, so I think it's meetings or something like diplomatic.
So those are like holographic, kind of, right?
Is it a real body?
How I see.
I don't know either. With that, I just remember the praying mantis feeling, you know,
like gold, eh?
And green, like green and gold.
Green, gold, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, bringing up the praying mantis, it reminds me of operating on Mars, and we were discussing beforehand about dragons as well. And I'm wondering how many of us actually operated on Mars and have dragons, if that's another commonality.
I do. I was on Mars.
I don't know about Mars.
You have a dragon-like aspect or a pet dragon?
Both.
I am a Siakar.
Yeah, me too. I'm a dragon.
That was why I got so angry when they were conflating all the reptilians into one and saying they were all evil, is because I'm a Siakar.
Yeah, you're white, right?
Actually, mine is so dark a red it looks black.
Yeah, I see a white one.
And I have an assortment of dragon guards. Matthew Mornian described them as black dragons with red flames coming off their backs. So if you try to read me or do energy work without my consent, you will get a visit from some of these people.
Yeah, but we're all the same group, so you know.
Penny, you
Well,
said,
but we
I
still
remember
gotta
you
ask.
saying you said in an interview the other with Tim Seabury about the Queen Draco, or it was like your niece or something, is that right? Or something?
I have a past life as a draconian princess, and that one is white. And the queen mother was my older sister,
Oh, okay.
and I died protecting her in a coup attempt. And so she has informed me that she owes me a life debt and that I will only die of natural causes in this lifetime.
Hmm.
That's her way of paying back the debt.
Wow. I got chills.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
Yeah,
I want to hug you. Oh.
I want to hang out with you more.
I want to hug all of you, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I get to suffer like everybody else that's human, but I don't get to die and stay dead. So that's there. And I will tell you by experience, it hurts just as much coming back as it does dying. And they don't bother to fix what killed me.
Mm.
Well, that's
So-
not fair.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, it gets to be a real interesting proposition.
Mm.
Future's fluctuating all the time, though. It's you that really decides.
Susan, you've been too quiet.
Oh,
Yeah, she
we're
is.
talking about dragons. I saw my dragon in January of 2020, but I was eating more vegetarian then. But I've been looking for her lately, and I remember the person, the malignant narcissist said, "I see your dragon." I said, "What?" And I picked up my phone to look because there wasn't a mirror nearby, and I saw this fairy tale dragon, and I was so shocked I dropped the phone.
Yeah, I know you should.
They were getting ready to lock it down and stuff, and I'm thinking, I can't be having this. What the hell am I going to do to be able to go to the grocery store? You know, I'm not a farmer. What the hell am I going to eat? And because I know I would scare the heck out of people, and they try to kill me because you know how humans are. But it only lasts like 90 seconds because I shapeshift to a Lyran, that, and then you see me on and off where the dawn and glow comes, and I just
Exactly. We're a lot of things. Yeah.
But when they show pictures of the shining ones, they'll have these little halos. And when I've seen a halo in 3D, and it was this little girl who had been kidnapped in 3D that was self-harming, and I got sent to that. I was training a new guy. Her halo, when I walked in, it was like a horseshoe, and then it had more sparkling lights in it, and she had been recovered by a police department in Ohio, and then her parents moved to Delaware. She was under spiritual warfare when I got called there. I remember I'm training this rookie, and the poor guy's going, "What do we do?" I said, "You went to Catholic school. If you're praying, man, you better start praying and calling your angels and your guides." He's like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Hell yeah, they don't teach you that in the police academy, but I'll tell you because that's what I do. Nobody else will probably tell you that stuff." And he was like, "Okay." So when we get there and open up the door, that little girl was hurling herself. She was 6 years old, in between the 2x4s, putting, dents the length of her body. And I could see my two angels on either side of me. And as soon as I walked in the door, she stopped self-harming, and she bent over kind of in this wrestler stance, grabbed her knees, and she said, and poor Brian thinks that the demon's smiling at me. And I know that the little girl realizes that the cavalry's come, and she's looking at my angels and looking at me, and she's like, "Wow, this is so cool."
Aw,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh yeah.
And that was confirmation to me because I saw my angels, because I try to look, like this, and then they disappear because you can.
You need to not look.
Yeah. But they won't let me look at them full on, which is kind of annoying. But
It's always
if I
like
try
that.
to remember you, I can see them because I've had other people tell me that they could see them too. And
Like that.
and I was telling Mom, I said, "Look, I'm a big cop and everything, but and I have a gun, but when I'm scared, I call on my angels and Saint Mike. I said, you want me? I just kind of winged the Saint Mike's prayer. I let her hold my Saint Michael's medal that my late husband gave me. That was like my talisman. And yeah, don't leave home without it. And I let her hold it. She fell asleep, and Brian could not stop talking about how I put this little girl to sleep, and she was hurling, and the demon smiling, and well, I don't know what was happening. And Susan and the demon are smiling at each other, and I can't tell him what's going on. That I just saw her halo and all these other angels she had with her, and she just needed to know that the cavalry was there.
Exactly.
So I've experienced this with the SRA stuff in 3D as a cop and seeing kids that went through the same crap I went through, but luckily I don't remember that then. You know, I was already a psychic medium and remote viewer, and I was having precog dreams and stuff. But shoot, the shape shifting and stuff. I still haven't told Brian. One of these days when he retires, I'm going to tell him what I saw that night. But I need to write a book about demons and angels and other crazy stuff I saw when I was a cop. It's nothing new. It's been happening my whole life. And then I kind of wonder if I shapeshift into a dragon or a lyran. Because I remember my late husband, when he was a cop, he's like, I don't know how you scare these guys. And I thought,
that's what I was gonna say. When you're in front of like the adversary, if it's supernatural, your supernatural abilities are right there too. It's you know, face to face. Yeah, because you know, that's how I think. Anyways, I'm like, bring it.
And they would just be shaking, and they're like, okay. So I never had to shoot anybody, but
you mentioned the Shining Ones.
Oh, and also
the first conference I spoke at was Janet Lessons, and it was in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 2018. Michael Lee Hill was there. I don't know if you know this guy, but he says he's an avatar of Enki. He's sitting in the bar at night in the back corner of the bar in the dark, and he's sitting there glowing like a lamp.
Yeah,
just absolutely perfect white light, pearly white, just glowing. He's sitting there all by himself, just glowing. And I was like, alrighty.
Did you go sit with him? I would like,
yeah, I did. Hi. I don't drink.
No, not to drink, to talk. You said,
I just sat down with him and I said, hi, I'm Penny Bradley. I know who you are.
Did you talk to him? Yeah.
You know, yeah, he's a real interesting individual.
What was his name again? Michael what?
Michael Lee Hill.
Yeah, Lee Hill. Yeah. He's been like doing a lot for a long time, right? This guy?
Yeah, he's a musician. He's been doing music for decades. And he
was on the History Channel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
History Channel because he has a blood anomaly that goes along with the glowing in the dark.
Oh.
And he does really. It's medically provable.
I believe it 100%. Because like the kids, I always see the kids like with the, you know what you said, the little sprinkles, like you know, like Charlie Brown, the little one that's dirty, like his little thing there. It's like that with the kids. And I'm just looking.
Woke up with bruises. I woke up with bruises, a bruised foot 3 days ago.
You see him?
Yeah. With long hair.
Yeah.
You woke up with a bruised foot?
I don't know if you can see. Can you see him?
Yeah, that's him.
Right there.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
I had an experience, Penny, that I think might interest you. Is one day I was changing the sheets on my bed, and on my mattress is a drop of blood. But there's no blood on the sheets, no blood on any pillows. And I was like, I think I was visited.
It
Yeah.
I
sounds
think they put me back. Yeah, they let me know by putting that one drop on the mattress next to a pillow because, and I was like, I flipped the sheet back over and I was like, no, there's nothing on the sheet. There's nothing here. I was like, how does blood get on the mattress but nothing else?
Yeah.
Well, I got one for you. I went to bed Saturday night with nothing wrong. Okay.
Mhm.
I wake up Sunday morning. There's blood all over my left foot. There's nothing on the sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Michael Lee Hill says that Eric Clapton is his dad because he was the illegitimate child of an affair that Mr. Clapton had. Clapton was there at his birth
I believe it.
and signed the documentation to let him be adopted.
Mm.
So he
Yep.
knows that Eric Clapton is his birth father. His birth mother was Iroquois, and he was adopted by a white family, and his adoptive mother recently died.
You, Christy, you have some native blood, right?
Yeah, Cherokee and Creek. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have Cherokee also, but like not so much.
I have Cherokee, Creek, and Micmac women in my tree, but when I had my DNA done, I didn't inherit any of it from them.
Oh.
You know, an interesting thing about that, Penny, is I was talking with some like Lakota Sioux, and they said, you know, if you do the DNA test, you'll never know if you have indigenous blood because they don't have indigenous blood.
That's exactly what I was
to
gonna
test
say.
again. So you may very well have inherited it, but we don't have DNA tests to show it.
That's exactly what I was thinking in my mind.
What
They
I
make you
figured.
do that ancestry, you know, they make you track it back and show
And are they
how
telling
you have a dad and then his roll number. So they would have had to have roll numbers is what they had
This
to
was
prove it by.
before the roll numbers.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly who she was.
Yeah.
Charles Parks was the American ambassador to Cherokee Nation when the United States was formed. And he had to have a native wife to be able to live there. And her name was Susanna. And I'm descended from one of their children. So I know that I have Cherokee in my tree. It's documented. But that was before the roll numbers. So it doesn't count.
Right.
It's not proper blood quantum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And it also, my DNA came back that I had 1.5% African, sub-Saharan, and that was because my father's grandfather on his mom's side was adopted, and he was a Windsor bastard, and Queen Charlotte's mother had African ancestry. So yeah, the things that showed up fit with my family tree, even the so-called anomalies. But what was weird for me was I know that there were at least 20 women in my tree since 1600 that were native.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them showed up at all. And it makes sense if they're not testing the natives, they wouldn't know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And
Most of them just
like
put white on if there was a census, but there wasn't even a census in the 1600s. So
no, there wasn't even a census then.
Mm-hmm.
My family in French Canada showed up on the first ship in 1615, and I had English and Dutch ancestors that were already in Virginia and New York or New Amsterdam at that time.
Mm-hmm.
The ones in Virginia were in Isle of Wight, and Jamestown. And they all showed up. They were all here by 1730. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I qualify for Daughters of the American Revolution.
The history is so tampered with also, you know, it's like all the books and everything, they really write what they want, you know, like it's like there's been so much corruption and so much like everything, like let's say like how can we really know? You know what I mean? Like we know certain things by cross-reference. I'm not saying that you're not right at all. I'm just saying in general, you know, like with everything that's been going on and everything.
My parents lied to me about who we were. What I have been tracking by were the census records, land ownership.
Exactly. You can cross-reference by yourself. That's exactly.
The paperwork for marriage bans.
You have to look
because they had to put it in the local paper that they were going to get married 6 months ahead of time, so that if there was any reason they couldn't get married, like they were already married to somebody else, that all of that stuff would be known, and that I knew which boat they were on, so I could track them back to the old world, sort of. Some of them I couldn't. The French ship, it goes back to Normandy, and God help you trying to figure out who those people were in Normandy.
Yeah.
Well, a lot were like gypsies and travelers also, you know, a lot were traveling and nomads and like
well, you get somebody that he's the ship's doctor, you get somebody else that he's the ship's armorer, you get somebody else that he's the ship's blacksmith. These were all trades.
Yeah.
They were trained for those. This was not, they weren't ignorant people.
Oh no, of course not. That's not at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, you know,
able to be tracked, and they weren't, because
I'm not arguing.
France had records since the 1400s.
Yeah.
England has had records since 1100 with
that have been tampered with by all the kings and all that, and you know,
they had tax records that are just
as
our records today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Netherlands, I found, has extremely interesting genealogy records of everybody. I was like, it amazes me because I have ancestors that are like France and Italy, and it's like I'm getting the information from the Netherlands genealogy, and I'm like,
the Netherlands.
Why does Netherlands have the French records? What?
Wow.
They're organized. I don't know.
There's a site that's set up in French, genealogy.com, and it's owned by Israel, but it's set up all in French, and they have some amazing records. I was able to track back 2,000 years using their site.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I was trying to join this family group, and they said, you have to have a genealogy that goes back 40 generations.
Wow. Well, I can understand it, you know, like with everything.
I came up with 117 generations.
How far does that go? 117 generations. That's like
it's about 2,500 years.
2,000 years, yeah, 2,500. I was gonna say that like
in Ireland.
Yeah. Yeah, the Druids. I bet.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is that when you started, there wasn't a lot, you know, like a lot of people. So you really had to like prove your point probably way more than, there was a lot less of cross-referencing. So you had to have the data. You had to have like stuff to like talk and know what you're talking about. Not that we don't know what we're talking about, but like fact, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like that.
There are records and they are generally not in English. What European records are generally in Latin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the old one. Yeah.
The guy that I refer to as my tutor, he has told me that for the next step of my studies, I have to be able to read Latin well enough to read.
Didn't we
Cicero.
talk about this before? Like the book I showed you my book, right? We talked about Latin, and I'm like, I find my book when I was in the.
Yeah, well,
like,
I'm having a terrible time learning Latin. So I'm feeling
Yeah.
really ignorant. And the website that I used to try to learn Latin, they're telling me things like
AI is good.
gorilla is magnosimia, which is what it is in today's zoology. But
Not an ancient.
Rome didn't know
English
there
is
were
from
gorillas.
German.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, English is more German based because French
they're
is more.
making things up on this site, and it really bothered me.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble forcing myself to use it because I
Mhm.
know they're
Mandela
making
effect
things
of the
up.
land.
Well, and what's kind of funny, Penny, and everyone, was when I traced my dad's genealogy. On his side, I traced it so far back that I was like, I'm gonna make a book, so we could flip through pictures and names. I broke Ancestry.com's program for the books because I was going so far in BC that they said nobody has ever traced into BC, and the
I
program's not
traced into BC.
designed for BC.
No, it's not.
So I gave up.
Oh.
It really gives you hell if you try to do BC.
Yeah.
And yeah, and this bloodline, you can track BC. The family that became the Finleys in Scotland came from Ireland, and you can track them back to Scota, and Scota was Egyptian.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
She was Akhenaten's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you can go
married.
back. Then you can go back through the Egyptian king lists, and they list everybody going back
2000.
thousands of years. And
They got the first ones 200,000 years.
yeah, so there are records. They're just not in English.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. It was Sumerian, but I mean.
Yeah, there are records in Sumerian. There are records.
That's what I'm talking about. Like right now we can cross-reference with like alternative people, and then we're like we can look ourselves and the era of information more. Before we can really.
But there are source documents, and they are becoming more and more and more available online in English translation, because that was how I tracked the Finley family.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have a question that came in earlier from James Whitkiss, and I'm thinking now. Oops, I just lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, it was an interesting. Here it is. Can being regenerated so many times tribute to arthritis?
I don't know. It would make sense.
Yeah. But everything is a lot has to do also with your beliefs, and everybody goes through it differently, and nobody can say, oh yeah, that's true or that's not true, because it can be true for some and not for others. But probably, in a way, your body.
The different generations were treated differently in these programs. Yeah. So some of the things that really affected the older generations, I was Gen 2. I think from what Susan said, she's either Gen 3 or Gen 4. We're on Gen 9 now.
Yeah, we're all experiments profoundly. So that's what I mean.
They changed the technology as we went. So some of us have different responses that are based on what technology was used on us.
Yeah.
My generation, we have terrible age regression sickness. Yeah. And it hits approximately 20 years after your first abduction. And it's bad. And from that point on, you do not have a healthy day in your life. And everybody wants to say, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this. And nothing works because they've damaged your DNA.
That's it. It's like, dude, that's what I mean. It's different for everybody with these things. They try everything with everyone. They're like, oh, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try it.
Well, they killed so many of them in my time. At Langley, there were 1,000 of them 1,000 of us the day I got there, and there were less than 30 when we went to Mars. They killed the rest. And the Pentagon got mad about that. They said, you've been losing too many kids, too many, as they put it, too many prime assets.
Exactly.
And so they have been working since then on trying to retain more. You know, and I'll tell you, as a navigator, the newer methods may work to do mind fracture. They may work to create foot soldiers. They don't work to create navigators.
Well, that's a DNA thing for more, right? It's like in your coding, like you're profound. It's not everybody that can be a navigator, right?
No, it's not everybody that can be a navigator. It's a specific bit of draconian DNA that they insert into some of us and zeta DNA into others.
You got to sync the ship. So.
And if you have that bit, then you have the capability, but the abilities have to be activated.
Yeah.
And the modern holographic training doesn't work to activate those abilities. And so they're coming into space. They can't fly the ship because they don't have those abilities. And Nachtwaffen,
the stargates and the portals and all that, certain people are just coded for that. That's why they're...
Nachtwaffen is making me become the perp to teach them how to fly the ship.
How do you do that if they don't have the DNA to do it? How do they?
These are people that have the DNA and should be able to, and they've been mind fractured, and they should be able to fly the ship, but they can't because the particular skills have never been activated.
Oh.
So there are specific old school ways to activate those skills. And they have to be done or they can't fly the ship. And it kind of defeats the purpose of training them in the first place. You know.
Yeah.
Penny, they used to strap you down on a gurney naked and throw water on you and hit you with cattle prods because they used to electrocute me, and then everybody would be dead, and they had to.
They would put us in
all the white coats.
They would put us in situations where there was no escape. And we were going to die. If we died, we were regenerated and put back in the same situation until we figured out how to bilocate to get out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The holographic stuff is not teaching them bilocation. Bilocation is a basic necessary skill for navigation, which means if I'm having to teach them how to navigate the ship, I'm having to teach them how to bilocate, which means I'm having to torture them to teach them to bilocate. And that's the bleed through memories I'm getting now, is having to do this for people to be able to do their jobs.
Yeah, I understand. I have a lot of memories that I'm drowned and again and again and again and again and again and again, like on and on, like. So it's crazy, and I'm having crazy chills like that. And even my daughter, she's 17, and one time I was like, I don't know, it's like, do you ever feel like maybe you could breathe underwater or something? And she looked at me and she's like, yeah, but somebody would need to hold me down. I was like, oh yeah. And then you just don't want to go there anymore. But if my daughter says something like that, because it's like, yeah. Right.
Well, she's done that too. Her memory.
A lot of us, the girls.
Whitkiss asks something.
He was asking, can they use a chip nowadays to mind fracture?
Before.
Oh, before that?
Yeah, before that one. The one before that popped up.
Let me see.
About the
I don't think
70s,
the chips
the
manufacturer.
75. There
So-
was one about
Oh.
the headphones, you know?
Was the
about that.
hearing testing
Yeah.
they used to do
No.
in grade school?
No, that probably was, but that wasn't the one I was looking for. We're
That
asking
thing
these
with the testing,
questions.
it has to do with the programs or the special programs.
Oh, this one about being
Yeah,
immune to void
that one.
sickness?
Yes, to
Don't-
fly a ship, you have to be immune to void sickness.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to go through the void as the ship.
Exactly, because you kind of merge with it, so it's like the
You
DNA.
merge with the ship both psychically and electronically because they have you chipped into the ship. So you become the ship, and
Yeah.
you are flying the ship through the space between frequency nodes.
Hmm.
Most people have this weird idea of dimensions, and it's not exactly dimensions. It's reality is frequency nodes. Different it's just like radio channels.
Exactly. I was gonna say that.
And you're flying the ship between the channels.
Yeah.
And it's void sickness is a real problem. And Time Lord DNA, that's Navigator DNA. And it's one of the things that you have to be able to do is fly the ship through that in between the channels without getting sick. You go
have to hold the atmosphere
when
bubble.
you come out, you have to make sure that nobody's in the wall, nobody's in the floor, nobody's in any like boxes. You don't have two people standing close enough together that they become one. You have to telepathically check at each and every life form on the ship and make sure that they are intact and
I have a question. Like, how do you experience this? Like, really fast, right? Boom. Like, because it's like your field, right? So it's like complete. Like, that's how I'm seeing it. Like, you know, like you're controlling the ship and everybody, because it's like your whole quantum field kind of in cohesion. So it's like really fast, all right? You don't go one by one. It's really all really fast.
It is really fast, but you have to check each one.
Oh yeah.
You have to check each one. Remember Tony Rodriguez's testimony that whenever that they would feel dizzy and they would have this bump and they had to hold still for a few minutes. That was to give the navigator time to do that.
Mm.
And I have an interesting question for you, Penny.
Yeah.
We're talking about the navigators having like this certain DNA. Would a small piece of that DNA be in like the captain's, because if something happens to the navigator, they take over and can fly the ship as well?
There are very few human navigators. Most navigators are either Draco or Zeta. It's not a requirement for the captain. The captain does not fly the ship unless something really bad happens to the navigator. And there's always 2 or 3 navigators because it's shift work. And so you have to have your time on, you have to have your time off. And even if you're doing 10-hour shifts, you still have to have that third person.
It's like Star Trek.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek. You have shifts. There's always somebody working it. I am usually paired with Matt Tracy. That's why we've done so many interviews together. And we can go into an interview with somebody else and we can almost finish each other's sentences because we work together that closely in space.
Yeah, make me think of that movie. I think it's Pacific Rim, You know, they have to drive these big
Yeah.
robots, and the two drivers, they have little boys, right? So it made me
I
think of that.
haven't seen that one.
I was straight away, because like the energy just like connects, and then together you're strong enough to. Because with the kids, it's also that, you know, the people that you know, a lot of people that call themselves like twin flames or something. It's like an energetic rise, because they have like not missions, but together.
This isn't twin flames. This is we are.
No, but it's
both
misinterpretation. I mean,
into the same computer.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
It's different. It's
So
not what I mean.
it's not. It's an actual connection. We're both chipped into the same computer, and we're like terminals on a computer.
But also, if you can both be navigators in the same place, you probably have also like energetic connections that are like
there has to be a
biological. Like,
because
you know what I mean?
you have to be visualizing the same endpoint, or else you end up on course.
Also, you have to have the whole capacity of the Draco kind of thing. So that's what I meant.
You have to have the capacity to do
that's
it.
what I meant. You know?
And
so you kind of energetically matching together, you're stronger. You know.
But that's why I end up doing a lot of things with Matt Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized we're at an hour 40 minutes.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Yeah, time has flown by, and there's one last question I think that the panel might enjoy, and then I think we might need to wrap it up. And that question is, what's the difference between your dragons and Quetzalcoatl?
I can answer that. Quetzalcoatl is like archetypal deity. It's a Mayan, you know, lord or something. You know, it's kind of the Prometheus kind of aspect in these mythologies. And our dragon, it's our aspect in other places, or you know, whatever. It's really not archetypal. It's specific to.
Actually, I would say that Quetzalcoatl was probably one of the Siakar.
Oh yeah, that's maybe, probably,
because
but he's still like an archetypal.
The Siakar
maybe
are
like
the same
or something, you know.
The Siakar are known as seraphim in the Bible.
Yeah.
They are known as aeons in Greek Gnosticism.
Yeah, exactly. It's always the same.
You know, it's the 12th dimensional 12th frequency node above Earth. And it's a place that is considered godlike by most humans.
It's the principalities that emanate through all the same. It's all the same ones.
You know, and we know it's 12D because the Pista Sophia says so.
And we see it, I think, kind of. Right.
So I don't see any reason why our Siakar dragon selves, because we're not the fullness of that being. We are just a fractal, a tiny drop in the bucket of that being. So it's not like we're claiming godhood. We're claiming connection.
Some people like us in the programs, we hold more of the frequency. It's not that we're better. It's just that we're like bigger wires, if you want to see it like that. You know, like a stove wire. You know, like bringing in more. I think because like you, let's say, if you can be doing certain things that are very specific in the exterior realities and everything, it's because you are certainly maybe not all the way, but you have certain aspects embodied that are really like more potent, if I may.
Well, I think that Quetzalcoatl very much fits the description of the Siakar. And so I think like ultra wide broadband up and down. I was informed that my particular Siakar higher self is the equivalent of a 6-year-old child. And that she lives with her father, and that I am one of 1,000 avatars of hers at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
So it's not
endless.
like I'm particularly special.
well,
They could completely destroy me, and it would be just a
I
drop.
think we matter right now for all the other humans. You can see it as you want. It's not being thinking we're bigger or better than anybody else.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just that certain people are like doing things before the others, and you especially. I would own it, really big time, because it is what it is. It's not for everybody, these things, and it's not everybody that can do it and talk in front of everybody, and we all have like specifics, and every human is super important, but some have specific things that not everybody can do. So these
I
people,
have
they're not people-
abilities that not everybody can do, and
Yeah,
yes, they.
it's like,
But at the same time,
we're living in crazy times
I'm
right
not intrinsically better than anyone else.
now. No, of course not. It's not being better
And,
at all. It's not being better. Everybody's good or bad, and everybody's both. It's just like right now, like the earth is changing like crazy. We're in unprecedented times, and like this specific thing that you've been doing for most of us, oh, it's kind of really right on topic. So I'm just putting it out there. Not good or bad. It's just like, it is what it is.
I've been trying to expose that children are kidnapped by their own governments and used in black ops that the public
No,
has no
really,
knowledge of, and it damages those children incredibly.
Yeah.
And
now
Yeah.
everybody knows about it.
in
So
the
that's
process of doing these black ops, these children are eventually turned into perps themselves. And they do it on purpose so that they think we won't report them if it means that we're
Yeah, it's
exposing ourselves. And I'm to the point
mind
I
control.
want them stopped, even if it means I have to pay for whatever they made me do. I want it stopped.
It is time for it to stop.
Yeah, it will. Everybody is getting to know everything right now, so it's like, what you gonna do with it when you're holding the hot potato?
Yeah. Well,
it's the age of
I've been contacting Congress critters on X, and
exactly. So I don't think you deserve any punishment because you've done your job in like doing your part in the what's going on. I really think so. Most of us have. So
yeah, I think all of us here have been doing our jobs, and
with all our hearts also, right?
The kitty too.
Yeah. We're all very brave.
I thought I saw a kitty behind Susan.
Yeah, it's the kitty.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
That's my tuxedo cat. It was on my front porch when I came back last year from the conference and Dad's funeral. And I told the universe if it wanted to send me a black cat, I would take care of it. And he's like my shadow. He follows me everywhere, as you noticed.
Cats know. Cats follow us everywhere. It's crazy, right? They know.
We have two gray tuxedo cats, and they don't let either one of us get far out of their sight.
Exactly. They're really always guarding these ones. It's crazy.
Oh, thank you. Nice work on the Electra book. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, Ms. Christy, you've been doing so much good work. I'm so proud of you.
Getting my information out that way too. So
yeah, but you've been working hard. I would like to hug you. I'm sorry. I would like to hug everybody right now. I'm happy to see y'all.
Mini dragons, yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do this again, and I'll work on bringing this panel back and dust it off a little bit and bring it out of mothball, as they say in podcast terms.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you all.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Be strong. You got this.
Yes, and everybody have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas.
Everybody.
Don't eat
Happy
too much.
Yule.
I feel bad.
Thank you all for watching and asking questions too.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
and
helped.
before we go, does anybody want to pay any heed to the fact that the show survived the Three-Eye Atlas Day?
Yeah.
Beast herd.
I didn't doubt. I knew we'd
Didn't
still
feel
be here.
strong.
I did too.
So thank you, everyone, and thank you all for coming on and being in this panel. And
Yeah.
I know you've all been individually, sometimes paired up, and so thank you for coming together in this group. And for those who couldn't make it, our hearts go out to you that you're feeling better, and whatever emergencies you're dealing with are resolved in a peaceful, calm manner and for the good of everyone.
Yeah, people have been sick a lot here. Like my kids are sick, and everybody's been sick on and off. So, yeah, try and take good care of yourself, people.
And as some of you know, I end the show. Penny, this might be new for you. I think this started a little bit after you were on, but my heart to all of you, thank you for what you're doing for humanity.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, for real.
thank you.
Thank you.
It's seen and appreciated, at least by me and
Yeah,
others.
right away.
Yeah. And your
Mhm.
books too. You put out a
Mhm.
bunch of 3 books now too. So
Everything counts.
4
Oh,
books. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you doing your
Yeah.
thing too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up, Christy, but you keep writing too fast.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you, all of you, everybody.
No.
Yeah.
I thank all of you for doing what you do, and I may not always reach out and talk, but I'm watching and observing and supporting the best way I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's not because we don't talk in a while it changes anything, really. It's not like
Yeah.
that's when you know real friends and stuff.
So with this, I'm going to say have a wonderful rest of 2025, and I hope to see you all on the show, whether on panel or individual shows, in 2026.
Yeah, you will.
And with that, I'm going to say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.